everyone, this is Travis Quadlander here at Rush Truck Center's Dallas Peterbilt, and today we're looking at a beautiful white 2025 Peterbilt 567 with an 11-yard Beck Paver Mixer body on here. Great news, this truck is on the ground, ready to roll, and available here at Rush Truck Center's Dallas Peterbilt. In fact, we actually have multiple of these units on the ground, ready to roll, and available here at Rush Truck Center's Dallas Peterbilt. Exact same spec and exact same Beck mixer body on these trucks. As I said, this is a Beck 11-yard concrete mixer, paver mixer body. It's on a 2025 Peterbilt 567 chassis. These are some very versatile trucks. Know that the vocational and construction industry is really staying strong, especially here in Texas and especially North Texas. Probably quite a few businesses could use these trucks, and we have some very aggressive pricing for the end of the year on these trucks. Let's get into the specs. They're powered by a PACCAR MX-11 engine, 430 horsepower and 1650 pound-feet of torque. They are paired to an Allison 4500 RDS-P fully automatic transmission. So this is not an automated transmission. This is a fully automatic transmission with planetary gears. They're set up on a 230-inch wheelbase. Let's go ahead and talk about that frame. This is an 11 5/8 inch zinc coated frame. It's a single frame. It is not a double frame. There is no insert. So some of you may be saying, well, why would you go with the single frame? Don't you need a double frame for that heavy of an application? Well, instead of the 10 3/4 inch frame, we went with the larger 11 5/8 inch frame. Did not do an insert or a double frame. As you know, there's going to be some really volatile chemicals that these trucks are going to be around in the concrete industry. So with that double frame, that creates a lot of places for rust and corrosion to get in there. So we spec these trucks as single frames with the larger 11 5/8 inch frame. Zinc coated them and had them pre-drilled at the factory. So all the holes in this frame were put at the factory before the frame was actually painted and zinc coated for maximum corrosion protection. As you know, and as I mentioned, these mixers really get around some volatile chemicals, and if you don't set these trucks up correctly from the beginning, you're just asking for trouble for corrosion on that frame. Again, 230-inch wheelbase. We've got all Continental tires. Up front, we have the PACCAR FX22 steer axle with a bias load 23,000 pound taper leaf front suspension. We'll go ahead and look at that bias load front suspension once we look underneath the hood. In the rear, we have the Haulmaax 46,000 pound rear suspension with a Meritor RT 46-160, again 46,000 pound rear axle. Let's go ahead and talk about the tires again. All Continental tires, all aluminum wheels, all disc brakes. Up front, we've got the 20 ply 425/65R 22.5 Continental HTR2 tires up front. In the rear, we have 14 ply 11R 22.5 Continental HDR2 pluses. So great specs on this truck. It is built to work. It's a fully locking rear differential as well. We've also got the Bendix roll stability on here. It's a 456 gear ratio. That may sound like a very slow gear ratio if you're used to our on-highway trucks, but again, with the lower horsepower, that 6-speed transmission, it is the right gear ratio for this type of application. Let's talk about the mixer a little bit. Beck Concrete Mixers is one of the premier mixer bodies that you can throw on these trucks. It's an 11-yard Beck Paver Mixer. We have cable controls both in the cab and on the back of the mixer. I'll show those in detail here in a little bit. You've got a 125-gallon water tank. The drum is made out of 1/4-inch AR 200 steel. It has a ZF P7300 transmission. It's paired to an Eaton HD 54 series hydro drive that is run off the REPTO rear engine PTO. I mean, really set up nicely. Able to see your pressure very easily right there on that gauge. Hope that's showing up nicely on there. Hydraulic oils, really easy to access right there. Got your vacuum pressure right here. Forgot to mention this has the 15.5-inch saddle height, so it is going to fit in more of those batch stations. Did the Space Saver battery box over here on the driver's side. Air tanks are underneath with your Kissling battery disconnect switch right here. DEF tank is on the driver's side. And then you've also got a 70-gallon fuel tank mounted underneath the cab. Underneath that fuel cap, you do have the anti-siphon device, so you don't have to worry about people stealing and siphoning out your fuel. Really nice setup on this Beck mixer. Everything is laid out very easy. Your ladder up top folds down very easily right there. And again, it is the cable mixer controls. Again, both here on the back of the mixer body as well as inside the cab. Everything is very easily controlled. Everything is laid out very nicely. You control the rotation for either charge or discharge and the speed right here, as well as in the cab. Work lights, controlling the chute up and down is super easy. Locks right there, chute up and down right here. Simply labeled charge and discharge on that throttle control right there. Everything is super easily laid out. I mean, even your work lights, you've got the switch right here. Lock the chute right there, up and down, throttle, accelerate and decelerate, all right there. Got your wash hose right here. Chute comes out very easily right here. Tons of large platforms for you to be standing on for the working. Work lights all over the truck. Chute extenders easily hung and secured right here. Got this nice spring-loaded cable to keep them in place. Again, work lights everywhere you're gonna need them. Single cab mounted exhaust over here on the passenger side. While we are on this passenger side, I do want to point out we have a mid-back seat on the passenger side. It's the upgraded Merdura cloth. It is not an air ride passenger seat. You do have an air ride driver's seat. We went without the air ride on the passenger side so we can spec it with the toolbox space underneath the passenger seat. High-vis grab handles as well as the seat belts. Safety definitely kept in mind on this truck. Love the look of the 567s. I mean, it truly says vocational application on here. We do have the set back front axle on here. We do the set back front axle on the majority of our mixers because it allows you to put more weight on that front axle. Visually, it's not as appealing as the set forward front axle, I will admit that, but it is the right spec for this application. It is a painted front bumper. It is not the polished or chrome front bumper. Again, these trucks are gonna get in some volatile situations, so we just do a simple painted bumper. We have the external tow eye or your tow pin right here on the front bumper, and below that you've got that step, which makes it very easy to open and close that hood. Before we take a look underneath the hood, Let's go ahead and take a look inside the cab. Before we do that, I do want to point out these are the US Certified Clean Idle stickers. These are not the California Certified Clean Idle, so if you are a California customer, unfortunately this truck will not work for you. Taking a look inside the Prestige interior, stamped weight from the factory before this truck was bodied up was 17,545 pounds. These trucks for Texas highways other than the interstate, you can have 69,000 pounds truck body and payload. So that'll work on any tandem mixer on any road or highway other than interstate here in Texas. If you do need a truck with the bridge formula, so with the pusher axle right there, as well as the trailing axle, we do have those bodies available as well. Again, 17,545 pounds stamped weight from the factory. If you need it, we can run this truck over a scale and get you the current weight of the truck all bodied up. Again, we've got the Prestige interior with the upgraded Meritor cloth seats. If you've been watching my videos before, you've heard me say I really prefer the Meritor cloth over the vinyl. Nothing wrong with vinyl, and vinyl is going to be easier to keep clean. I prefer the Meritor cloth when I'm going to be in this workstation of a truck all day long. Hot summer months, I don't feel it gets as hot. It's not going to be scorching my skin. When I get in on a hot day and on a cold winter day, it's not going to have that ooh wow factor wake you up when you sit in it because it's so cold. Just think it's more comfortable in my opinion. Of course, we've got our all new digital dash. This truck has 987 miles on the ticker. Those are all delivery miles from when the truck was built at the factory right up the road and dented, sent off to Beck to have the mixer body put on there, and then returned to our dealership here in Irving, Texas. Of course, we've got our steering wheel mounted cruise control, Bluetooth and audio controls, as well as our digital dash controls. Very simple here on the B panel, no gauges, no navigation. You do have your concert class radio head unit with your USB outlet. 2 PTO switches right here on the dash. There's your fully locking rear diff switch. And there's a look at the Allison fully automatic RDS-P, 4500 RDS-P automatic transmission. It is super, super easy to control that transmission. You do get a solid cup holder right here and then a pop out cup holder right here. There's your Beck mixer controls. Again, it is cable controls, which most people do prefer. Very, very easy to control. Again, this is going to allow you to rotate the drum for either charge or discharge. You can pause it with this switch right here. You can lock and unlock the chute, as well as raise and lower it right here, and then turn on your work lights or turn them off right here. Super, super, super easy to use and control. Got great indicator lights right here to keep you updated on everything. Obviously, you really need to be aware of everything that's going on whenever you're using these mixer type applications to keep everyone safe. So you want to keep these controls as simple as possible, both here as well as on the back of the mixer. And I think Beck did a great job with this system right here. Great high-vis ergonomic layout, very easy to use. We did the again, the mid-back seat on the passenger side to give a little bit more visibility, and you've got the 3 windows on the back of the cab to increase visibility. And then our single piece curved windshield, that is the best view in trucking. Just point that Peterbilt wing on the work horizon, I guess you would say, and keep on trucking. It has been a beautiful day here at Rush Truck Center's Dallas Peterbilt. We are fighting the daylight. Days have been getting shorter in the fall. Gonna go ahead and take a look underneath the hood. Before we do that, of course, we've got our characteristic stamped oval stainless steel grille that's going to protect the radiator. If you hit anything out on the road or on your work site, that radiator is going to be protected, allow you to finish your job and worry about cosmetic repairs later. There's a look at the PACCAR MX-11 engine. Again, it is a 430 horsepower, 1650 pound-feet of torque. Some of you may be saying, well, why wouldn't you go with the Cummins X15 or at least do the PACCAR MX-13? Well, every ounce counts when it comes to these mixer applications. You want to get as much payload in there as possible. That MX-11 is even lighter than the MX-13, which is about 400 pounds lighter than the X15. Sorry, I don't know the weight difference between the MX-11 and the MX-13 off the top of my head. But we do that for weight savings and for fuel efficiency, because all time spent refueling is time spent away from the job site. We do have the battery jumper terminals right here underneath the hood. Here's a look at that taper leaf front suspension. It is a 23,000 pound front suspension with the bias load over here on the driver's side. We'll go ahead and count it out right now. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaf springs over here on the driver's side. Coming around to the passenger side, you've actually got 1, 2, 3, 4 leaf springs here on the passenger side. One less on the passenger side, one more on the driver's side. The reason we do this is as that drum is rotating, it's going to cause the whole truck to tilt, and to offset that, we add an extra leaf spring on the driver's side to prevent that tilting from being so extreme. Of course, we've got the anti-blowdown technology. I just lifted that up, so now we can actually close the hood. That means when you do have the hood open in windy areas, it's not going to be closing on you when you don't want it to. Tilt down assist makes it very easy for us to open and close that hood. I'm doing that one-handed while I'm filming. We've got these huge grab handles on the hood. Means on cold winter days, even when you're wearing full-size winter gloves, you can open and close that hood latch easily, again, one-handed. And there's a look at our beautiful 2025 Peterbilt 567 with 11-yard Beck Paver Mixer body. Again, great news. This truck is on the ground, ready to roll, and available here at Rush Truck Center's Dallas Peterbilt. Give me a call. My name is Travis Quadlander. My cell phone is 817-504-7220. Hablo Español. Puede llamarme a 817-504-7220, or come see us at Rush Truck Center's Dallas Peterbilt right here in Irving, Texas, off of Loop 12 and Union Bower. Again, we've got this truck available on the ground, ready to roll, and available now. We also have multiple of this exact spec and body available. We have the similar specs available if you do need the bridge configuration or the bridge formula with the pusher and trailer axle available as well. In addition to that, we have plenty of other vocational type specs, just straight up day cab tractors, both 567 automated and manual transmission, as well as 579s and 589s. We also have build slots available for the first quarter of 2025 if you need to order something specific. Great year-end deals going on here. I'd love to help you out. We've got great financing and lease offers. We've got extended warranties available. We accept trades. We can ship trucks to you. We'll fly you out to take delivery. Some great offers going on right now, and really want to help you out as much as we can. Of course, we want to thank everyone in the trucking and transportation industry for keeping our country running while we need you the most. Again, like I've said before, it's been some very interesting year and a half or so. The last few months, weeks, and days have been very interesting, and hopefully with everything that's happened over the last couple weeks, things continue to improve. We've been noticing an uptick in our business, and I hope you are noticing an uptick in your business as well. I look forward to hearing from you. Drive safe.